Hi guys, if this is your very first class as part of the 21-day Pilates challenge, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you've already watched the little intro video I gave at the start of this challenge. If not, I would recommend it. It just gives a little bit more of an introduction to myself, the purpose of the challenge, what you can expect over the 21 days, all of that good stuff. But for now, we're going to get straight into it. This class is really designed as a replacement class if you can't make the live online class every Monday. However, if you can make that class or you've already made that class, this can just be a little extra bonus if you do end up wanting to do an extra class at some stage throughout the 21 days. So we're going to get going. It's full body today. We're going to get into every major muscle group. If this is your very first Pilates class ever, I'm so excited for you. We'll have options for everyone. So if you're also advanced at Pilates, this will also very much suit you. Do not worry, you'll also feel a burn. So with that, we're going to start lying down and we're going to start with some breath work. I always like to start my classes with just a couple of deep breaths. That helps our minds, I guess, ground into the session, but it also actually has a physical purpose because we're naturally engaging our core when we're doing some deep breathing. So starting lying on the ground, you can pop your hands on either side of your ribs. And if it feels good, you can just close down your eyes. We're going to start by taking a couple of deep breaths in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Lovely, deep inhale. Final breath. Softly opening those eyes. You may have noticed for those breaths, your hands are moving in and out. So just for these next 3 breaths, we're going to go as deep with that air as possible into our stomachs and really focus on expanding those ribs to naturally activate our core. So deep inhale, send that air down into your ribs and belly. Feel those ribs expanding 360 degrees. And as you exhale, send those ribs inwards and down as if they're heading down in towards your spine. Lovely. Another inhale. And as you exhale, sending those ribs down and inwards. Final breath here. I want you to feel those ribs moving up and out all the way, pressing into the back of the mat. And final long exhale as we send those ribs down and in, those abs at the top of our core naturally engaging. Lovely. Okay, we're going to pop our hands out into a nice T shape. We're going to take an inhale, and as we exhale, send our legs down to the right side and send our gaze to the left. So we're in a nice kind of twist position here with our spine. With every exhale, can you twist those legs a little further? You can use that spare hand on top to put a little force on that top thigh. And we'll inhale to center, exhale to that other side. Imagine your spine here is like a wet cloth. You're wringing all that water out of the cloth. Lovely. Back to center. We're going to send our legs nice and long and our arms long overhead. As we take a deep inhale here, stretch so far apart with those hands and legs like you're a big long pencil. And as you exhale, send those arms overhead, and bone by bone, we're going to follow those arms with our head, our neck, our upper back. Try to limit any momentum here as your whole spine comes off the mat. Nice and tall with that back. We're just going to slowly curve or flex over those legs. So we're getting a nice stretch in the back of those calf muscles, in the back of those quads. We're getting a nice flexion with that spine. You can go all the way and touch your toes, even better. I can't. But if you do want to feel this stretch at the back of those calves, just bring those toes towards you. So as if you're trying to touch your toes off your shins as you lean forward. Lovely. Taking an inhale. We're slowly, on an exhale, going to lean back and curve down bone by bone. Lovely. We're going to go for one more big stretch here on an inhale. As you exhale, arms come overhead. followed by every little bone within our spine, one at a time. And we're just going to lean over those legs once more, get that nice stretch. Hopefully you can go a little bit further this time. Lovely, really getting into the hamstrings, into those calf muscles. Really nice. Okay, sitting up tall now, we're actually going to put the soles of our feet on the mat as well. So sitting up nice, we're going to interlace those fingers and we're slowly only coming back as far as we start to feel those abs turn on. Those ribs are tucked, which means our lower back is nice and flat, which means hopefully you're not feeling any strain on that lower back. We're going to go for a twist, so as if we're trying to send that elbow all the way around to the other side. Big exhale to twist, inhale to center, keeping that back straight. If this feels like enough for you, stay here. If you want a little extra spice on those abs, bring those legs into tabletop. And the key here is to keep those legs extremely still. Imagine you have a tray of drinks here, Prosecco flutes or something. You don't want to drop it you don't want to lose a single drop of that precious Prosecco, okay? So we're trying to keep our legs extremely still. It's only that upper body moving. And if your legs are up high here, you're feeling an extra burn at those thighs. I'm going to go for 4. Lovely, guys. For 3. Last 2. And 1. Sitting up tall, drop those feet. We're going to put our legs into a bit of a pretzel here. So the soles of our feet are together, knees are out wide, and we're just going to lean over, get a nice stretch in our kind of groin area. Lovely. Leaning over those feet as much as you can. Really nice. Okay, we're going to keep going with a little bit of core work now. We're going to do a little sequence where we're going to roll like a ball. You'll see what I mean. Roll like a ball and then into crisscross, and we're going to do this 3 times. The first one will roll like a ball twice, so just so you get the hang of it. Okay, we're going to stick our heels together. Toes are apart. So we've created a V with our feet, heels together, toes apart. Lift those feet up and you're holding your shins or just below your knee. You can also hold a little lower down towards your ankle. Nice straight back. We're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, we're slowly leaning down bone by bone. Take an inhale. As we get momentum to come up, we take an exhale. Try not to tap down those feet if you can help it. It makes those abs turn on at the top. So we'll go for 1 more, okay? We're going to inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Try balancing at the top. Lovely. And we're slowly lowering down into crisscross. So elbows are wide, fingers are either at our temples or just behind our head. And we're making these really slow, okay? That is on purpose. These are much harder. When we make them slower, every single stabilizing muscle has to switch on. And we're pointing those toes for 4. Lovely. For 3. Big exhale into that twist. Inhale to center. Final 1. Bring those knees in. And we're going to go straight into another 2 rounds, okay? So we're starting from the mat this time with that roll. Heels together, feet apart. Gain a little momentum here. Inhale, and as we sit up into an exhale, we'll do 1 more from the top. Rolling like a ball. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to lift. And we slowly lower down into those crisscross, nice and slow, pointing those toes. Get the breath work going here. You're almost pausing as if you have to put on the brakes on each side of this twist. Lovely, guys. Well done. We're only here for 4. Last 3. Abs are already burning for 2. And 1. Knees come in. We've got 1 more round. Little rock side to side. Okay. Heels together, toes apart. Holding those shins or just above the ankles. Gain a little momentum here. Big exhale to sit up nice and tall. We're going to go for 1 roll from the top, okay? Ready? We've got this. Last 1. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Hold those feet up. Lovely. Lowering down. Final round of crisscross here, guys. Well done. Lovely. Really strong. Okay. We are here just for 4. Last 3. For 2. And 1. Slowly lowering down. Bring those knees in and take a proper break here. Little rock side to side if it feels good. Really strong, guys. Well done. Okay, we're going to keep going with the abs here, but we're going to get into those side abs, those oblique muscles a little bit more. So we're coming onto our right side, left side is facing up. We're going to come into a planking sequence. So we're going to go straight from a side plank to a front plank and then another side plank. So we're going 180 degrees here. Okay, when we go into this side plank, you either have the option to stack your feet and do a full side plank, or if this doesn't feel good for you today, drop that bottom knee, okay? It's just going to take a bit of the pressure off. Are we ready? We're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, coming up on those stacked feet, and we're going for hip dips here, okay? So inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Down about 2 inches, up 2 inches. Lovely. For 7, for 6. Really nice, guys. For 5, last 4. Keep that breath work going. For 3, last 2, and 1. Holding up. We're going to pivot those feet around into a full plank. Back on those forearms, okay? Hands are out in front. We have a lovely flat back. This time we're going for hip lifts and lowers. When we lower those hips, we're coming back into a straight plank. We're not dropping those hips any lower. Lovely. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Really nice, guys. For 5. Last 4. Well done. 3. I know these are tough. For 2. And 1. We hold here and we know what's coming. You're going to unfortunately see the back of me now. I need to tie up my hair. We're pivoting over to that other side. And we've just got some hip lifts to finish on that left side. Sorry, hip dips. Down and up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Lovely. For 6. For 5. Well done, guys. For 4. Last 3. Last 2. Final 1. Dropping down. Pivot straight onto your front so we can take a nice child's pose here. So knees are wide. Big toes are touching. Send those arms out nice and long. If you can, get that forehead down to the mat. And even better if you can get your hips nice and low down towards your heels. So we're getting a lovely stretch in that lower back. Lovely. Keep going. I'm going to tie up the old hair. Really nice, guys. Okay. We're going to come now back onto all fours. Make sure those wrists are nicely stacked under the elbows and shoulders. We're going to tuck our toes. Knees are about shoulder width apart. Once we tuck those toes, we're lifting the knees just an inch off the mat, okay? We're going for hip twists here. I'm going to pivot out to the left. As I do, my right arm is bending. You'll see it's almost like a single arm push-up here. Back to center. Over to the right side, my left arm bends. Back to center. So we really are getting the abs here, the thighs, the arms, everything is working. When we come back to center, really try to come back to that flat back. The tray of drinks that was on our knees earlier is on our back once we come back to center. So we want a nice flat back. Lovely. Okay. Inhale to the side. Exhale back to center. Lovely, guys. We've just got 4. Really nice. For 3. Last 2. Really nice. Final 1. Holding those knees up, and we're just going to finish with knee taps down and up. Keep that tray of Prosecco balanced. Lovely. For 6. Really nice, guys. 5. Soft bend in those elbows. We'll take any pressure off the wrists. For 3. Last 2. Really nice. Final 1. Drop those knees wide. Big toes touching and take a well-earned child's pose here. Lovely, guys. Imagine you've got maybe a deflated balloon in your lower back. Every time you take an inhale, you want to try send that air down into your lower back to inflate that balloon. Lovely. Stretching out those arms. Just really allow your breath to take a moment here to come down towards a little bit lower. I was going to say towards resting. It's a bit early for that. Okay, we're going to flip onto our backs now. Bit more ab work, okay? So starting off, we're going to send those pointed toes up into the air, okay? Try get those legs as straight as you can If there's a little bend in them, that is okay. We're not all super flexible, me included, so just try get them as high as possible. We've got our hands either side of our temples, if not slightly behind the head. Taking an inhale as we exhale. Left elbow comes almost like you're trying to touch that right knee. Inhale to lower. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Inhale to lower. Lovely. Keeping those legs long. We're trying not to allow those elbows to come in too far. Try keep them lovely and wide. So it really is those oblique muscles, those abs at the side of our body that are really lifting us up here. Really nice, guys. Well done. For 4, for 3, last 2, and 1. Can we hold up in that chest lift and little pulses up and down to finish? For 8, 7, last 6, for 5, well done, elbows wide. For 2, and 1, lowering down. Bring those knees in, rest those abs. Well done, guys. That was tough. That was tougher than I anticipated. Okay, are you ready to keep going? A little bit more on those abs, okay? We're going to bring our hands back to either side of our temples. Our feet are on the ground. Nice bend in those knees. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lifting up into a nice chest lift. Again, elbows are wide. Take an inhale. As you exhale, send that right hand over towards the ankle. Inhale back to center. We're going to stick with that right side, okay? Chest stays nice and high, so those abs are working non-stop, and those obliques come into play with that twist. Lovely. Really strong. We're just here for 4. For 3, keep those elbows wide. Last 2. And 1, holding up here in that chest lift, finishing with pulses like before for 8, 7, for 6. Well done, guys. 5, last 4, for 3, and 2, and 1, lowering down. Do whatever you got to do to take a little quick break here. Rest those abs. Well done, guys. Really strong. Okay, we know what's coming now. We're going to even ourselves out. Hands either side of temples. Once more, big inhale. As you exhale, lifting up into that chest lift. Take an inhale at the top and twist around to that left side on an exhale. Lovely. Can we get a little bit higher with that chest lift? Really nice, guys. We've just got 4. For 3, really twist as far as you can around. For 2, final 1, ending with chest pulses once more for 8, 7, 6. Try relax that neck for 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down. Lovely work. So strong, guys. Your abs are going to thank you for this one. I hope nobody's been like, oh my God, why is this first class so hard? But believe me, your body will thank you for this. You'll never regret working your body like this. Okay, last bit of ab work in this position. We're bringing those knees into tabletop. Take an inhale as we exhale into that chest lift. Make sure those knees are over the hips. I don't want to see those knees coming in, otherwise the lower abs are switching off. Lovely. Bring those knees so they're shoulder width apart, and we're going for toe taps. Tapping each toe down and up. Only go down as far as you can without that lower back feeling like it's lifting off the mat. So we're really trying to tuck those ribs, keep that lower back on the mat. If you feel your lower back moving, don't tap down so far, just go halfway. Lovely. We're here for 4, for 3, last 2, and 1. You know what's coming. Last chest pulses, I promise, for 7, 6, for 5, last 4, 3, for 2, and 1. Oh my gosh, my abs are on fire. Well done, guys. So strong. Have a lovely little rock here. We'll actually go for a little spine twist just to really relax those abs and that spine after that work. So take an inhale. As we exhale, send those knees down one side. Send that gaze to the other. Lovely. Inhale back to center, exhale to that other side. Really nice. Okay, super quick break. We're flipping over now. back onto all fours. And we're gonna get those hips a little bit more involved now, okay? So soft bend in those elbows will take some pressure off those wrists. We're gonna flex that left foot. So right foot you can see is nice and flat. Left foot is flexed, and we're bringing that leg out into a fire hydrant. Inhale back to center. Exhale to lift. Lovely. That tray of drinks is on our back. I don't want to see any movement with that other hip. Everything is staying still. So only lift that left leg as far as you can without the rest of your body compensating. You'll notice your abs, all those lovely stabilizing muscles in your core have to turn on to keep you lovely and still. Lovely. Really slow it down here, okay? Really nice. We're here for 5. Last 4. For 3. Really nice, guys. Really flex that foot for 2. Final 1. Send that leg long with the pointed toe. Bring that right arm down in front. So my right forearm is kind of across my eye line. I'm still on that left hand, soft bend in that left arm. I'm twisting those hips outwards. They're not shining down towards the mat. I'm twisting outwards. Point that left foot, and we're bringing that knee to elbow. Lovely. Inhale, knee comes in. Exhale, send it long. Lovely, guys. Well done. Imagine you're bringing that knee over a big box and then it's touching your elbow. So rather than letting it coming under your body, really challenge that hip to send it up and around. Lovely. We're here for 4. Pointing that toe for 3. Really nice, guys, for 2. Final 1. Keep that leg long, and we're just going for lifts and lowers. Keep shining those hips if you can outwards towards the screen you're watching this on, or out to the side of the room. Lovely. For 5. Last 4. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Last 2. And 1. Option to take a break here if you want a little extra burn. We're going for little circles forward for 8. For 7, don't be afraid to take a break if you need. This is for people that want that extra bit of spice. 2 and 1 and reverse. This is it. We get a break after this. For 6, 5, last 4, for 3, for 2 and 1. Dropping down. Take a child's pose. Relax those hips. Lovely, guys. Deep breaths here. Lovely. Okay, are we ready? Coming back up onto all fours, no rest for the wicked. We're going to that other side. I'll actually pivot around so you can see. Soft bend in those elbows. We're flexing that right foot this time. We're bringing that out into a fire hydrant. I don't think I said this earlier. This is also known as the peeing dog. And you can probably tell why. It's not the most attractive move. So great for your hip mobility, for your glute strength. I don't know anyone that hasn't been told they need to strengthen their glutes, especially runners. Lovely, guys. Or anyone who's suffered with back pain will have been told to strengthen their glutes. That's what we're doing here. Lovely. We're here for 5. Big exhale to lift. For 3. Last 2. And 1. Send that leg long. Drop that left forearm this time. Hips shining out wide. And we're bringing elbow up and around towards, knee up and around towards the elbow. And back down. Lovely. Inhale, bring that knee in. Exhale, send it long. Lovely. We've just got 4 more. Remember, you're bringing that knee up and around the box for 3. Lovely work, guys. For 2. And 1. Just finishing for those people on option 1 with some lifts and lowers. Lovely. Well done, guys. We've just got 6. Shining those hips outwards. For 4, we're really getting into that glute muscle here. For 3. Last 2. Anyone that wants extra spice, keep that leg up. Little circles forward. Anyone that's taking a break, you can do a nice child's pose. We'll all be jealous. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. dropping down. We can all join in on that child's pose, guys. Well done. Stretching out those glutes, that lower back, and those hips. Lovely. Okay. Deep breaths here. We are flying through this, guys. Well done. Okay, we're spinning around. Last bit of mat work before we come into standing, and anyone that knows my classes, you know when we come into standing that we are not too far from the finish. So we are getting close now. We're going to come into some tricep dips. We want to work that upper body a little bit more. So fingers are pointing towards our bum. We're coming up on those wrists. We're going to inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Elbows, rather than going out wide, those elbows are being sent straight back behind you. That's really going to get into those triceps, so the backs of those upper arms. Really important for our posture as well. Lovely. We're here for 5, last 4. Really nice, guys. Get those hips nice and high for 2. Lovely. Final 1. Drop that bum down. Shake the arms out really quick. And we're going into what I love about this sequence is it kind of, I don't know, it's something a bit different, makes you feel like you're not working so hard. You guys might disagree. We're going to do 1 tricep dip and 1 what I call a kind of a seated crunch. You'll see what I mean. So we're coming up. 1 dip, inhale to lower, exhale to lift, holding up there. Press into your heels, start straightening your legs, send your bum through your hands, and then we come back up into that starting position. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. So our bum is barely grazing the ground. Our abs are having to work to send that bum back through the arms. Inhale as you send that bum through. Exhale to lift. Inhale into that tricep dip. Exhale to lift. Well done, guys. We've got 4. Lovely. Okay, now we've got 3. Lovely. Take these nice and slow for 2. Really nice. Final 1. Anyone who wants to take the option to sit and take a break here, do. Otherwise, we're holding halfway in that tricep dip. So triceps are switched on. We're pulsing those legs out and in, out and in. Make sure you're halfway down in that dip for 8. A little bit lower for 6, for 5, last 4. This is it for 3, for 2, and 1. Drop that bum down. Lovely. Sitting up tall, we can shake out those arms. Little stretch across the body if it feels good. Lovely, guys. Okay, we're coming into standing, but if you want a nice little transition, we can do a rolling like a ball. Excuse me, rolling like a ball into it. So heels together, toes apart, holding those shins. Inhale to lower. And as we come up on that exhale, cross those legs, and we come up nice and controlled into standing. Okay, are we ready? We really don't have much left. We're standing on one end of our mat. Ideally, the left end of your mat, if that makes sense, is maybe backwards on the camera. So my right leg is on the inside. I'm going to stand nice and heavy and strong in that right leg. And I'm going to come down into a curtsy lunge on that left leg. Lovely. So I'm inhaling to lower, exhaling to lift. You can probably see for obvious reasons why this is a curtsy lunge. Make sure those feet are shining forward as your starting position. And we're really coming back with that left foot all the way across and behind us. It's really getting into kind of just our lower inner thigh. It's coming up into our outer upper thigh. It's getting those glutes. This is a really great one for knee stabilization. Make sure that knee stays over the toes. So really pushing it over the toes. Lovely. Really nice, guys. We've got 3. Last 2. Lovely. Final 1. Can we hold down in that curtsy lunge? Little pulses for 8, 7, for 6, for 5, last 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. We step tall and we come down into a nice narrow squat. Little pulses to finish this sequence for 8, 7, little lower, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stepping tall. Shake those legs out, and we have done one side, so you know all that we have to do is even ourselves out. We'll just break it up with a nice little roll down. So Roll those shoulders back, and on an exhale, sliding down your body, walking those hands out. We'll just do a quick downward dog, so hips are high. Try send those heels down to the mat so you're getting a nice stretch in the backs of the legs. Pedal out those legs if it feels good on the backs of your legs, on your calf muscles. Great one again if you like running. Okay, when we're ready, we're coming forward into a plank. Option to stay in full plank here. Otherwise, drop your knees and you can do a half plank. So take whatever suits you. I know I've just thrown in a sneaky plank I didn't tell you about. Okay, we're going to finish with some shoulder taps and then we'll come up into standing again to close out. So right hand to left shoulder, drop it down. Left hand to right shoulder, drop it down. We've got 8. Try to keep that body lovely and steady. So we're barely compensating. Really nice, guys. Flat back for 4. Last 3. Really nice for 2. And 1. Keep those hips high. Send them up to the ceiling. Stretch those legs again in a down dog. And we walk those hands in towards the feet, rolling up nice and slow at the top of our mat. I want to make sure I don't hit my TV. Okay, this is it. We are done after this. We've got about 2 more minutes of work. We're standing at the other side of our mat. So I'm leaning into that inner left leg, sending that right leg behind me. Lovely. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. We can bring the arms in for this one if you want. So we send those arms high on an inhale. And as we exhale, row those arms in. Imagine you're squeezing a wet sponge between your shoulder blades. Lovely. Okay, we've got this, guys. We're here for 4. Really keep that knee over that foot. So nice for 2. Final 1, staying down and little pulses for 8, 7, for 6, 5. Well done, guys. 4, we are so close for 2. And 1, stepping tall into that narrow squat. And all we've got is little pulses to finish for 6, for 5. Well done, guys. 4. Last 3. I know I'm double counting here. That's evil. Final 1, standing tall. And we are finished. Well done, guys. I'm so chuffed. You stuck with that. All we have is a couple of minutes. Cool down. I really urge you not to skip this. I know it's tempting, okay? Stick with me. Last few minutes. You'll thank yourself for this. Okay, roll those shoulders back. As you exhale, gliding down your body, walking back out into that downward dog. Hips are high. Rather than pedaling the legs now, can you just hold them nice and static in that stretch? So a long hold here. Deep breaths, lovely. Okay, when you're ready, we're bringing that right knee up towards the right wrist into a pigeon pose. So send that left leg nice and long, and if it feels good, we're just leaning down onto our forearms over that right hip. Hopefully you feel a nice stretch here. If this doesn't feel good, you can always flip around and do a figure 4 pose. So pop one ankle over the knee and pull that thigh towards you. Hopefully you feel that on this opposite glute. Otherwise, we're in that pigeon pose. When you're ready, you can switch that other side. So left knee up towards the left elbow. Lovely, guys. When you're ready, we're coming up into a nice seated position. Last couple of moments here, just closing down those eyes. Take a moment to really tune in to how the body is feeling now versus the start of class. So I hope you find that you are sitting taller, you feel more space, maybe you even feel a bit more confident. We're going to take one final deep inhale as we send those arms around, up to the sky, interlace those fingers as tall as we can, and a big exhale, wide and down. And we are done. Well done, guys. I'm so thankful you joined me for this. I'm so excited for the next 20 days ahead, whatever day you're doing this. and I hope you enjoy the rest of the challenge. Thanks, guys.